I heard you coming from a mile away. It sounds like you have some power steering issues. Is it hard to turn the wheel too? All right, pop that hood and let's get it checked out. Hey, my parts from 1aauto.com came in. Let's put these to the side. We'll use them in just a little bit. Let's take a look at our power steering system. Power steering systems are going to be a closed loop system. This means that no fluid should escape and you shouldn't have to constantly fill it. If we have low fluid, that means we have a problem, whether it's a leak, a blown seal, or something wrong with the pump. First things first, we're going to check the fluid in our reservoir. We're going to pull out the cap, wipe off the dipstick, reinstall, pull it back out. You can see we have no fluid on our dipstick. Let's put that cap to the side and take a look inside of this reservoir. We can see that it's bone dry. This is a problem, and it means we have a leak somewhere. When looking inside of the reservoir with the car running, you should see that the fluid is moving and swirling around. This is a good indication that our pump is working and moving fluid through our system. If it's just stagnant, not moving at all, we know we have a problem with our pump. Now that we've checked our fluid, we're going to go through and check our big three items. We're going to check our power steering pump. We're going to go through and we're going to check the lines, and on the bottom, we're going to go over the power steering rack. When we're looking over all of these, we're going to be looking for any rips or tears in the lines, any fluids leaking out of anything related to the power steering system, and then we'll open up the boots on the bottom for the rack. We're going to take a look at our pump. We're going to look at these lines. We're going to slightly pull on them. We're going to make sure there's no cracks or any fluids leaking out of them. Be sure our clamps are good. Take a look at this union right here. See if there's any fluid. I don't see any fluid coming out of the pump or these fittings or the top of the lines. We know we have no fluid in our reservoir now. We know we have a whine in our pump. We don't know if it's because of the low fluid or whether we've done damage to our pump yet. So we're going to travel down and take a look at the bottom of the lines. To take a look at our power steering lines, we're going to remove the skid plate and get a better look. That line's a problem. That's where all of our fluid's going. It's just leaking out of this line. It's totally rotted away. The fact that it's holding on is actually pretty amazing. Now that we know we have a bad line, we have one more part that we're going to need to check, and that's going to be our power steering rack. We're going to go on either side and pull one of the boots off and see if there's any fluid coming out of the outside seals. We're going to remove the clamp for this boot, and we're going to check inside of the boot to see if we have any fluid present. Get rid of that clamp. Let's pull this boot back and see what we have. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of fluid. Well, that's no good. That means we have a seal bad on our rack. We've gone through our car. We know we have a leaky line. We know we have a leaking power steering rack. And we're also going to replace the pump because it most likely has internal damage. I don't want to take any risks or go back in there. So we're just going to replace this whole system. Let's go get our parts from 1aauto.com. Hey, we got our parts. Nice. Let's get into it. All right, let's get these old parts out of the car. Removal of these components will vary based on make and model. When replacing the power steering rack, an alignment will be required after installation. With all of those crusty parts out of the way, let's install the new ones. Let's get the rack in, let's get the lines, and the pump. Don't forget to fill and bleed the system and check for leaks. Our noise is gone, our steering is smooth, let's hit the road. I almost forgot. Be sure you're using the correct fluid in your vehicle. This information can be found in the owner's manual or online. If you don't use the correct fluid in your vehicle, we could be doing all of this work again.